The next part after the discussion of fetal station is the pelvic axis and inclination. ये बच्चे आपको समझने की कोशिश करनी पड़ेगी. जैसे आपने यहाँ भी देखा कि pelvis is not oriented as you would imagine it to be. बहुत से बच्चे ऐसा करते हैं, pelvic inlet को बिल्कुल horizontal पकड़ लेते हैं और उन्हें लगता है कि pelvis एक टब की तरह inclined है body में, but ऐसा नहीं है. Pelvis is at an angle, and that is what we are going to look at now. So, as you can see, this is the curve of the sacrum and this is the angle of the pelvis. अगर pelvis के inlet को यदि आप देखें, so that is at an angle of around 50 to 60 degrees to the horizontal plane. और pelvis के outlet के anterior posterior diameter को अगर आप देखें, so that is also not exactly horizontal. It is at an angle of around 15 degrees from the horizontal plane. So इससे आपको ये पता चलेगा कि pelvic की inlet की plane as well as pelvic की outlet की plane दोनों ही एक angle पर हैं horizontal से. So, if we combine the locus of the centers of these entire planes throughout the 3 dimensions of pelvic cavity, we would come to an axis of inlet. अगर मैं आम भाषा में कहूँ तो वैसे you know this much mathematics, right? अगर हम center points इन सबके join करें, अगर हम इन planes को starting from the इनलेट टू द आउटलेट ट्रैक करें और हर एक प्लेन के लेवल पर यदि हम सेंटर्स को आपस में ज्वाइन करें तो एक्सिस ऑफ द इनलेट डिराइव होगा. सो एज यू कैन सी इट इज जे शेप्ड. ठीक है. So this is almost parallel to the axis of the sacrum behind it. So this tells you about the axis of the pelvis and its inclination. ये angles आपको याद होने चाहिए. 50 to 60 degree for the inlet and around 15 degrees for the outlet. So axis of the outlet as well as axis of the inlet finally leads to this combined axis of the pelvic cavity. So ये है outlet और ये ऑलमोस्ट स्ट्रेट परपेंडिकुलर लाइन जो आपको दिख रही है, दिस इज एक्सिस ऑफ द आउटलेट. ये है इनलेट एंड परपेंडिकुलर टू इट विल बी एक्सिस ऑफ द इनलेट and axis of the entire pelvic cavity is almost in line with the axis of the sacrum. So the fetal head has to descend through this entire thing, starting from the axis of the inlet as far as the level of the ischial spine. वहां तक इसे descend करना है and then it has to be directed forwards into the axis of vagina at the right angles to that axis. This will be explained further in the diagrams coming forward. But you have to remember that the form of this pelvic axis and the disparity in the depth between the anterior and the posterior contours are the prime factors in the mechanism of fetal transit in the pelvic canal. Why am I teaching you all of this? You would rather question कि मैम ये तो हम obstetrics में आगे जाके कर लेंगे, but for you to have the appreciation of the anatomy of pelvis and why we are teaching you all those diameters in the various planes, it'll be good to look at the process of fetal descent as it is born. So, ये पार्ट्स आपको आगे चल के ये स्टेज वाइज याद करने होंगे, बट राइट नाउ व्हाट यू कैन सी इज that when you reach the pelvic inlet, then your anterior posterior diameter is the smallest diameter. ठीक है. 11, 12, 13 इस तरह से अगर आप देखें, so obviously anterior posterior diameter is the smallest dimension when we are talking about the pelvic inlet. So this is the part which the incoming fetal head has to cross. अगर आप fetal head की ओर देखें, then side to side diameter, जिसे biparietal diameter कहा जाता है, is the smallest diameter, whereas the largest diameter is the anterior posterior diameter. So अब पूरी की पूरी arrangement has to be in a way कि जो ये anterior posterior diameter of the fetal head है, ये सबसे बड़े diameter of that very area के साथ correlate करे ताकि वो वहां से धीरे धीरे निकलना शुरू हो जाए. So this would make sense कि अगर transverse diameter inlet का सबसे बड़ा diameter है, so pelvic inlet के level पर transverse diameter should be the one which falls into the anterior posterior diameter of the head of the fetus should come directly in contact with the largest diameter available to it. You should know that this lack of proper descent and the engagement of fetal head in the wrong diameters is one of the very important and frequent causes of difficult births. ठीक है, all births are not normal. In many births fetus की rotation में और उसकी descent में problems आने की वजह से ही you have to take up multiple intervention to deliver the fetus safely. So at the anterior posterior at the level of pelvic inlet you would want कि fetus align हो जाए anterior posterior diameter along the transverse diameter, क्योंकि वो हमारे पास सबसे बड़ी dimension है. Problem आती है when we reach at the level of outlet. अगर आपको outlet में याद होगा, then antero-posterior diameter of the outlet is the largest diameter and transverse diameter is the smallest diameter. In fact, outlet के level पर तो थोड़ी ही ऊपर ischial spines रह चुकी थी, जो कि पूरी ही pelvic cavity का सबसे small diameter थी. So while it has to come out of the pelvic outlet, then the antero-posterior diameter of the fetal head has to become anterior-posterior while coming out as well, which is appreciated in this diagram. So the fetus, which starts in a position like this, finally has to exit like this. So just so that you know these mechanics of the fetal labor and why it is so very much important to protect the head of the fetus while it is delivering would guide the twists and the turns taken by an obstetrician in a matter of seconds while delivering this head of the fetus. ठीक है, और जैसे कि आप यहाँ देख रहे हैं कि इनलेट करते हुए इस तरह से fetal head आ गया, उसके बाद fetal head underwent the rotation ताकि वो इस तरह से exit कर सके. And the moment fetal head was able to exit the pelvic outlet, you suddenly realize that fetal shoulders, जिनका की longest axis is directly or you can say is just perpendicular to this long axis of the head, that might just get stuck inside. So the delivery of the fetus involves a very important step that is called as restitution. So starting from coming like transverse, fetal head has to become anterior posterior, but after that you have to help the fetus twist again so that the largest diameter of the shoulders can cross through the largest diameter of the anterior posterior pelvic outlet. This is a beautiful concept and there are many videos on YouTube that can assist you in imagining this entire process. But I think by the time you come to the classes and you have read this thing for quite some while, it'll be easy to appreciate this thing. And you can always look at this PPT and just flip through the images and realize how the fetus was almost facing you, then almost was looking down, and then started facing you again. So this is the beauty of pelvic mechanism. And then you have the other important concept is the plane of the greatest pelvic dimensions. जैसे कि मैंने आपको पहले बताया था mid pelvis, यदि आप यहाँ देख रहे थे तो pelvic inlet के level पे APD is 11 and this is 12 and this is 13. Pelvic cavity के level पे almost सारे ही dimension 12 centimeter के करीब हो जाते हैं और outlet पे आते आते APD becomes the largest dimension and transverse diameter becomes the smallest dimension. So this is called as a gynecoid pelvis. ठीक है, mid pelvis के level पे जहाँ पे traditionally बहुत बड़ी dimensions है, almost 12 to 13 centimeter बड़ी dimensions हैं. So this shape of the pelvis decided by its inlet, mid cavity and outlet all being very open and spacious. This shape is called as the gynecoid pelvis. So it is the traditional Western female pelvis with a heart-shaped brim and a range of measurements as we have done above. Obviously, in population like ours, Indian population and the non-Caucasian populations, these readings will differ, these mean diameters will differ, but your books mostly give you the values for the Western female pelvis only, so that part is easy for you. So what are the different shapes of the pelvises that can be there? This is traditional gynecoid. As you can see, almost circular to oval inlet, बहुत चौड़ी dimension, ischial spines being away from each other. This is the traditional childbearing gynecoid pelvis. Whereas the android pelvis will give you this almost heart-shaped pelvic inlet, ischial spines coming closer to each other, sacral curvature being very acute, तो ओवरऑल आप देख सकते हैं किस तरह से एंड्रॉइड पेल्विस कम स्पेशियस है. The other two types are platypoid and anthropoid pelvises. अगर आप बात करें ओवरऑल इंटरनल डायमेंशंस की, सो ये भी स्पेशियस पेल्विसेस हैं. Just that platypoid pelvis is very wide in the inlet transverse diameter, whereas in the anthropoid pelvis आपको दिखाई देगा कि AP diameter exceptionally long है. This is anthropoid pelvis. It has large mid cavity and very wide anterior-posterior diameter in the inlet, which is almost oval in the shape. So हर बार अगर आपको ये लगे कि pelvis में anterior-posterior diameter आपको बहुत बड़ा लग रहा है, तो it is not necessary कि वो android male-like pelvis ही होगा. It can be an anthropoid pelvis as well. That is why having the knowledge of diameters is very important, because only looking at the shapes can probably fool you. And this anthropoid pelvis is more common in the women of African origin, and it is probably associated with high assimilation pelvis, and they can also have additional lumbar vertebrae. Whereas assimilation as a concept in pelvis, I mean, this is not for you, this is for the MSc candidates. It is the variation of the numbers and types of sacral bones which are fusing to form a sacrum. So आपके sacrum में अगर 5 से कम unit है, it is a low assimilation sacrum. अगर आपके पास 6 या उससे ज़्यादा units हैं, it is a high assimilation sacrum. So anthropoid pelvises में ये देखा गया था कि ये बड़े हैं, चौड़े हैं, इनकी the sacra can also have more than the traditional 5 units. And the obliquity of the plane of the brim is obviously affected. So low type और high type दो तरह के देखे गए हैं. Low type is less oblique, high type is high oblique, and out of this, the low type is the better one. So if you have a wide pelvis, even though uska anterior-posterior diameter is the larger than the transverse diameter, that part is okay, as long as it is spacious enough and it is less oblique. So this pelvis is more common in the women of the African origin. Next we come to the platypoid pelvis. It is again flat and oval from side to side. And it is a type of contracted pelvis, and it is rarely seen now. Earlier it was seen in the patients with vitamin D deficiency and the rickets. So this is actually the pelvis of a platypus. So you can see that how लेस हाइट है इस पूरे के पूरे पेल्विस की. सेक्रम इतनी ज्यादा बड़ी और इलम बिल्कुल नीचे रहेगी. सो ये एक्चुअली एक प्लेटिपस का पेल्विस है. सो something like this, which is very wide, very open, and side to side diameters का बहुत बड़ा, that particular shape is platypoid pelvis shape. Now coming to the actual male pelvis, or let's say android pelvis. पहले मेल और फीमेल पेल्विस बहुत ही कैजुअली बोल दिया जाता था, बट इवेंचुअली व्हेन यू रियलाइज दैट ऑल फीमेल्स कैन नॉट, और लेट्स से डू नॉट हैव द ट्रेडिशनल proportions of the dimensions, so the shape of the pelvis is now being called as android or gynecoid. So most women have gynecoid pelvis and most men have android pelvis, and it can go both ways in a very small percentage of people. So the android pelvis has a large triangular brim, almost heart-shaped inlet. It is mostly seen in the males, but it can be present in 0.6% of the women as well. And in white women, 2 to 8% women can have an android pelvis. So it has, इसके features आपको पता होने चाहिए. Heart-shaped या triangular pelvic inlet, ठीक है? Prominent sacrum. And pelvic funnels from above downwards, yani just like a flower pot, they are convergent side walls. So ऊपर से नीचे narrow होता जाता है और walls एक दूसरे के करीब आती जाती हैं. Prominent ischial spines and sacrum inclining forward, and subpubic arch is narrow. यानी कि जैसे कि आपको मैंने पहले भी बताया था कि इस एंगल की यदि बात की जाए तो ये almost 90 degrees या उससे भी कम होगा. So this shape is android pelvis shape. So यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं gynecoid pelvis, anthropoid pelvis, properly android pelvis, और ये हल्का सा platypoid pelvis है. So this is to tell you how the pelvis is acting you can say as a facilitator versus a barrier to childbearing. यहाँ आप देख सकते हैं ये gynecoid और anthropoid pelvis हैं, ठीक है. So they are these two parallel lines show you the overall orientation, that how these two are like tubs through which the head can easily pass, ठीक है. और ये आपको दिख रहा है एक एंड्रॉइड पेल्विस जिसमें दोनों वॉल्स एक दूसरे के करीब जा रही हैं. एंड यू कैन सी दैट इसमें अगर बच्चे का हेड है तो उसके लिए एंगेज करने के लिए डायमीटर आगे से आगे कम होता जा रहा है. एंड दिस इज अ प्लेटिपॉइड पेल्विस जो ऊपर से ही एकदम नैरो है. सो अगेन अ प्रॉब्लम इन एंगेजमेंट. नेक्स्ट वी कम टू सम इंडिसेस, जो कि ये लास्ट टाइम मैंने आपको सेक्रम में कहा था दैट व्हेन यू फाइनली आर डन विद योर डिस्कशन ऑफ बोनी पेल्विसेस वी वुड डिस्कस some indices which help us in determining the overall shape of bones involved and the pelvis formed hence. So pelvic index एक important parameter है जिसमें AP diameter of the inlet, जिसको conjugate diameter भी कहा जाता था, divided by the maximum transverse diameter, ठीक है. So let's just see, आप इन दो को आपस में डिवाइड करेंगे और 100 के साथ मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे. Obviously, in most of the cases, AP diameter is smaller than the transverse diameter, so this very thing is less than 1. And when you multiply it with 100, you reach to some number which looks like this. So, depending upon that, the pelvises are defined, or let's just say divided into 3 types: platypelvic, mesatipelvic, dolichocephalic. Again, ये वाला part आपको करने की जरूरत नहीं है. This is for the MSc students. What you need to know is just this definition कि pelvic index क्या होता है. इनलेट के लेवल पे smaller diameter जो कि AP diameter है डिवाइड कर दिया transverse diameter से. Now look at this particular ratio again for the MSc students. यहाँ पर क्या है 95 to X, यानी कि 95 से ज्यादा, 95 से ज्यादा, 100 से ज्यादा आप जाते जा रहे हैं एक ऐसे पेल्विस की तरफ जिसमें एंटीरो पोस्टीरियर डायमीटर बहुत बड़ा है, यानी कि आप एक एंथ्रोपॉइड पेल्विस की तरफ जाते जा रहे हैं, ठीक है. तो पेल्विक इंडेक्स देख के आपको शेप का काफी अंदाजा लग जाएगा कि ओवैलिटी कितनी है और किस दिशा में है. So sexual differences in the pelvis. So males are distinctly more muscular and therefore more heavily built. So overall pelvic dimensions and the overall shape and the intercostal measurements, all these things are heavier, bulkier, muscle markings बहुत अच्छी दिखती हैं. अगर आपको कोई एक pelvis देखने में बहुत सुंदर लग रहा है कि उसकी ischial spines बहुत अच्छी हैं, उसकी iliac crest बहुत अच्छी है, when you see all bones in their full formation, you are mostly looking at male bones and male pelvis. In females, the crest, the iliac crest are less curved, ठीक है. वो पूरा का पूरा pelvis is designed to accommodate a fetus, ठीक है. So you cannot afford to have big and bulky bones. So crest is less curved. Iliac alae are more vertical in females and they do not ascend so far. Iliac fossae are shallower. Iliopectineal line is more vertical, and iliac peculiarities they account for greater prominence of female hips, ठीक है. तो ये फीमेल वर्सेस मेल हिप की बात हो रही है. अगेन डिफरेंस में ये कहा जाता है टब वर्सेस फ्लावर पॉट. सो आपको iliac crest इसमें prominent दिखाई दे रही है. बोन्स जो हैं they are directed upwards and they are fanning out properly. ऐसा आपको फीमेल pelvis में नहीं दिखाई देगा. ये आपको angle between the two istiopubic ramus will be more than 90 degrees in case of females. It will be less than 90 degrees in case of male. इनलेट की तरफ अगर आप ऊपर की तरफ देखें ऑलमोस्ट ओवल इनलेट विद लार्ज ट्रांसवर्स डायमीटर आपको दिखेगी, और यहाँ देखें तो ऑलमोस्ट ट्रायंगुलर है, हार्ट शेप इनलेट दिखेगी. और आउटलेट की तरफ देखें बिग पेल्विक आउटलेट विद ischial spines being away from each other, whereas males will have ischial spines pointing towards each other and a small pelvic outlet. So this sexual differences in the pelvis should be very well known to you. आपसे ये चीज एग्जाम में भी पूछी जा सकती है. वहाँ मेल पेल्विस भी होंगे, फीमेल पेल्विस भी होंगे, और डिफरेंशिएट करना आपको आना चाहिए. The only way to do this is really practice it a lot. So differences between male and female sacrum. जैसे कि आपको अभी तक इतनी अंडरस्टैंडिंग तो हो ही चुकी होगी कि female sacrum also has to assist in childbirth. So it will be short and wide, whereas the male sacrum will be long and narrow. And the curvature of the bone, it shows a gentle and uniform curvature. अगर आप male sacrum की बात करें तो ये आराम से curve करेगा, whereas female sacrum बहुत देर तक तो एकदम straight descend करता है और एंड में हल्का सा उसका पार्ट फॉरवर्ड टर्न कर जाता है. So there is nothing like a continuous curvature in case of a male sacrum. Now we come to the auricular surfaces. Side में auricular surface थे sacrum में. Male में obviously they'll be longer and well formed. They'll be shorter in case of a female. Upper surface. This is very important. In male sacrum, the body is wider than the ala. This happens because obviously male sacrum is somewhat narrow. अगर आप पूरी dimensions की बात करें, so body will be very very wide, whereas ala will be small. जबकि female sacrum is sort of a spread out sacrum. So body is either narrow or almost equal to the alae. So this very look at the upper surface of the sacrum can tell you about it being male or a female sacrum. अच्छा, एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट, प्री ऑरिकुलर सर्कस, इसके बारे में आप लोग काफी पूछते हैं. सो अब ये पूरा का पूरा जोन जो है ये ऑरिकल है. अब यहाँ आपको ढूंढना होगा प्री ऑरिकुलर सर्कस. पहले ये देखते हैं कि है क्या. इट इज अ ग्रूव सीन ऑन द आइलेक बोन. ठीक है, तो ये आप आइलेक साइड देख रहे हैं और यहाँ पर आप ये ऑरिकुलर एरिया देख रहे हैं. अब it is seen adjacent and parallel to the inferior surface of the sacroiliac joint. So यहाँ अगर आप sacroiliac joint की formation होगी, so this will articulate with the auricle of the sacrum. So pre-auricular sulcus would be found here. इस area के नीचे की तरफ यहाँ आपको pre-auricular sulcus दिखाई देगा and it is a characteristic of female pelvis. सारी बोन्स में ये दिखाई नहीं देता. इवन आई वॉज नॉट एबल टू फाइंड अ बोन जिसमें ये आपको अच्छे से दिखाई दे. बट वेन यू विल लुक एट द हिप बोन, आपको पता चलेगा कि एक पार्ट किस तरह से ऑरिकल के साथ, ऑरिकल ऑफ सेक्रम के साथ एसोसिएट करता है और एक उससे हल्के से पोस्टीरियर पार्ट के साथ एसोसिएट करता है. एंड दिस इज वेयर यू विल फाइंड लाइन कॉल्ड एज द प्री ऑरिकुलर सल्कस. नेक्स्ट यू कम टू द सेक्रल इंडेक्स. Sacral index है breadth of the base divided by the anterior length of the sacrum. If this is the anterior length, this is the breadth. इनको आपस में divide करके 100 से multiply कर दीजिए. Then you will reach at sacral index. So as you have seen, male sacrum more uniformly formed. इसका मतलब है कि base भी almost base और anterior length के बीच का difference कम होगा. So overall इस ratio जो है ये this ratio of 112 shows us that base is pretty wide and the anterior length of the sacrum, they pretty much match with each other. So you reach at a figure of around 112. Females में भी difference कोई बहुत ज्यादा नहीं है, पर थोड़ा सा female sacral index बड़ा होता है. Yeah, I have shown you at this angle. So this narrow arch is male pelvis and this wide arch is the female pelvis. So now you can see again, this method of, these two areas can be defined with using index finger and the middle finger or with the thumb and the index finger. So this is just one of the old tricks. So now you can see the overall formation of the bone. So females, less overall height, wider area, iliac crest not as properly formed as compared to the males. The markings are less, I can say, heightened when compared to the male pelvis. And this is the greater sciatic notch. Female में greater sciatic notch is pretty wide and deep, whereas in males it might be as deep, but the width is overall less. Now coming to something called as sciatic notch index. Again, it is not very important, but just for the sake of knowledge. Maximum depth of the sciatic notch divided by the maximum breadth. So this is sciatic notch index. जहाँ भी आपको जनरली एनाटॉमी में इंडेक्स टर्म आती है, इट इज यूजुअली अबाउट द स्मॉलर डायमेंशन डिवाइडेड बाय द लार्जर डायमेंशन एंड देन मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 100. Next important thing is chelotic line. Now it is a line extending back from the iliopubic ramus to the nearest point on the anterior auricular margin and to the iliac crest. यानी कि अगर ये auricle है तो ये auricular margin है, तो आपने कुछ नहीं किया, आप यहाँ आए, iliopubic crest पर आए, iliopubic crest से start किए और arcuate line को follow करते गए और फिर आप extend कर गए onto the anterior edge of the auricular surface. ठीक है, so ये पूरी की पूरी line जो है chelotic line है. So ये जो इसका पार्ट है जो कि एक्चुअली आर्कुएट लाइन का पार्ट है इस पेल्विक सेगमेंट ऑफ किलोटिक लाइन, वेयर एज ये जो आपका एंटीरियर मार्जिन ऑफ ऑरिकुलर अटैचमेंट एरिया का पार्ट है, दिस बिकम्स द सेक्रल सेगमेंट ऑफ किलोटिक लाइन, और इन दोनों की रेशियो इज ऑल्सो अ वेरी यूजफुल इंडेक्स. So kilotic index में sacral segment is divided by the pelvic segment. So this is again one of the indices. Probably it's not even given in your book, but if it is given, you can just read about the definition of it. Next we come to the ischiopubic index. So obviously ischial length को देखेंगे, pubic length को देखेंगे, and then we can just divide it. Length of the pubis divided by the length of the ischium. This will become the ischiopubic index, and this is very easily done. Obviously you can see कि एक simple X-ray करके you can do this, and this gives you an idea about the width of the pelvis and overall shape of it as well. So these are the difference between the male and the female pelvises. You should read and revise it again and again. And in our next video, we will look at the demonstration of the pelvis. Thank you.